All right, welcome back to another live coding session with Django and Pegasus. And today I'm going to do something a little bit different. And today I'm going to take this chat UI that we built over the course of the last few live streams, and I'm going to try to port it to React. Why am I going to do this? Well, Pegasus has kind of two front-end build options that you can use. One is React and one is HTMX. We've built out this thing in HTMX, but if someone builds Pegasus with React, I want them to be able to use this UI in React. So that's my goal for today. I'm going to be honest, it's been a long time since I've written a lot of React code, so I might flounder around a bit, and we'll see if it ends up being worthwhile and how far we get, et cetera, et cetera. So let's, whoops. Cool. So let's dive in, and maybe I'll just start by kind of articulating my plan. And my plan, so right now there's this My Chats page. I'm not going to touch this. So this is going to be a standard Django page. And what I'm going to re-implement in React is this page here when you're actually in the chat and you're saying, you know, you're talking to it. Write me another one. So this chat UI, these components, everything that happens kind of in this box where the chat is, I'm going to try to reproduce in React. So to start, I'll just outline the plan. So first I'm going to create a view for this page. I'm going to link to that view, and then I'm going to create a React application that sits inside the main pane here. And once I have that, I'm going to try to build the interactive functionality. That's going to require building out some of these things that are done in HTMX with Django Rest Framework APIs probably, and React components for these various things. So it's a bit of a mission, and we will see how we can tackle it. So first I'm going to build a URL view scaffolding. This will be familiar as it's something that I do a lot on these live streams, but it's always where I start, just kind of get something working that we can start playing with. So I'm going to go into my chat URLs file. So we have, let's see. Let's start with this single chat view. And I'm just going to put all the React stuff kind of down here. When I add this back to Pegasus, I will update the build config so that only the React or only the HTMX UI shows up. But for now, React stuff. And so let's say we're going to have chat, blah, 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 ID. Maybe we'll just namespace it this way. Chat, React, single chat React. And we'll name that single chat React. Then we're going to create the view. I'm going to kind of copy the single chat view. So I'll grab that, come back here. And that looks good. Why is it giving me squiggles? Maybe the squiggles are real. Why are the, single chat React. Aha. How did that? Weird. Okay. Okay, so we have a copy of the view. Not very exciting. Next thing, we'll copy the template, single chat React, pass that context through. Things really mess with my computer. If this keeps up, maybe I'll abandon this effort. Oh my goodness. Okay, template. Good. And so we're going to preserve this stuff. This is the navigation that's on the left-hand side here. And we're basically going to replace this whole thing in here. And the way you do that with a React thing is you kind of just define a div, and then you let React take over the whole thing. So it's going to look kind of like this, but instead of including something, and I'm just going to go to Teams React. I'm going to go here. And so, yeah, so we define a div with a particular ID. We'll call this like chat content. That sounds fine. And then eventually we might pass in some static data, and then somewhere on the page, JavaScript, we're gonna like include some React bundle that will inject itself into that div. So I'll stick that there for now. Just kind of leave it commented out. And what I'm expecting to see now is the same view, but there won't be any chat interface, and instead it will just be a blank screen. Let's see if we did that right. Okay, good. Okay, so now let's go into the React side. So in Pegasus, I put all the sort of JavaScript stuff in this assets. JavaScript and CSS goes in this assets folder. So assets, JavaScript. Not sure if this belongs in a, this is an example, but I'm kind of treating it as more of a first class example. So I'm not going to put it in the Pegasus folder. I'm going to create a new folder called chat. And then like, I'm just going to kind of start by copying, let's see, teams.js. Oh, I'm so rusty. Maybe edit team.js. Yeah. Okay. So these are the kind of the root thingies. So either of these will work fine. I'm going to start with team.js. Let's say. I'm going to paste it in here. Start with edit team. We'll call this chat. Chat? Chat. Why not? And now, we're not going to do any of this API stuff yet. We do want to get the elements, so we'll get that out. What do we call that? Chat content, I think. Just double check that. Chat content. So we'll get the DOM container. This is all using like React routers. Well, okay, I don't know. But why don't we just try doing this? Div. I'm just gonna try to like get a hello world thing working here first. And let's make sure. So, okay, so we've got our hello world. We need to tell Webpack that it wants to build this thing and add it to our static file. So that happens in this Webpack config area. So I'm going to add a new thing here. I'm going to say chat, assets, JavaScript, chat.js. So this will tell Webpack to build our chat JavaScript file and turn it into a bundle. Let's see, npm run dev launch. And so hopefully, what I'm hoping will happen now is a sort of a chat bundle file is going to magically appear in this directory. Let's see if it happens. While we're waiting for that, we can uncomment this and include it. So here we're just saying grab that chat bundle file and serve it as a static file in Django. I have a long write-up about how this works, how this comes together. Okay, it's finally building. It's not normally anywhere near this slow. Okay, it's done building. Finally, let's see if the chat bundle showed up. It did, that's good. And now let's refresh this and see if we get a hello world. We do. All right, so far so good. So, now we're gonna start kind of, I guess, porting this UI into into React, and let's think a little bit about how we want to do that. So probably the first thing we're going to need to do is we're going to need to, instead of passing these messages as a Django template variable, we're going to want to pass them as some kind of JSON structure, like a list of messages. Then we're going to need React components to render those messages, and then we'll have to figure out interactivity. So let's start on the data side, because that'll be more comfortable ground. So we'll go to chat views, and so previously, let's see. Yeah, so we've got the chat. We're going to want to serialize the chat as kind of a JSON object. So we're going to need a serializer for that. So let's make a serializers file. Serializers. And as I tend to do, I'll just kind of copy. Looks a little too complicated. I'll copy. This looks all right. So we'll just kind of start with the basic model serializer from Django Rest Framework. Rest Framework. We'll call this a chat serializer. Serializer for chats. Model is a chat. I usually do relative imports within an app. It's kind of a, well, I don't know. I don't know why I do it, but I do. Okay, so user, we might want to make like a related serializer thing for the user. For now, I'm just not going to worry about the user. I will give it an ID, I'll give it a name, and then we'll also need a chat message serializer. So let's try one of those. Stock string's not really doing much. Okay. And for the messages, let's see. So we also want, let's see, we want the ID. We want maybe the chat message type, the content, probably created that. Okay, and then let's see if this works. Oh no, I edited the wrong file, didn't I? Where did my edit? Oh, I just added the name, but I didn't delete this other stuff. Messages. And then we'll say messages equals. And I think I have an example of this in Teams, but we want some kind of related. Yeah, I think we just do something like this. Messages equals chat message serializer. I don't think we need the source because the source should just be there. Many equals true. Not sure about read only. Okay. Let's see if that works. And how are we going to test that? So I guess the simplest thing would be to go into the views. And we'll say serialized chat equals chat serializer chat.data, something like that. Let's can't even find that thing. And we'll just print. The machine is really struggling. Normally I would get like an auto import thing here, but it's taking a long time to even figure that out. Okay, here we go. Okay. All right. Did it restart? Still restarting. Okay. Let's refresh this. And let's look if it printed out something. Okay. That looks pretty good, although messages is an ordered dict, which is not necessarily what I was expecting. So in our template, we're going to do kind of something like what we do here, where we're going to take the serialized data. We're going to use the JSON script tag to turn it into an HTML element. And so instead of user JSON, we're going to use, let's see, call it serialized chat. We'll use that. We're going to use the JSON script template tag, and then we're going to name it chat. Okay, so when I refresh, what I'm now hoping to see is there'll be a hidden div somewhere on this page that will have our serialized chat data in a way that we can use. Let's just kind of look in here. Yeah, so here it is. And that looks like it's got everything we want in there. So that's cool. So now we can pass that data into React and we can start building our UI on top of it. So we're going to go back to chat.js and kind of like we did in the Teams.js, we can just do like a JSON parse thing. It's going to be called the chat. Can log it to make sure it works. And then we'll just, maybe we'll just like kind of create a, let's see. Well, let's try that to start. Baby steps. So now in the console, we can see that we did in fact get our chat object out. It's got all the information we need in it. So that's great. So far so good. So now we're going to build kind of like a chat application. And this is where I kind of reveal that my JavaScript React sort of best practices is not where it is with Django. But I usually make like an app.js thing. So I'm just going to do, actually I'm going to call this chat application .js. I think that's kind of standard. And then yeah, so I'm going to use React hooks. So const chat application as a function of properties. I guess for now we'll just kind of return our hello world. I'm going to take this nice and slow because like I said already, my React is pretty rusty. So yeah, we'll return our hello world thingy. You probably need to like import something. What is it? Import. I think we at least need to import React. We'll probably want use state and use effect eventually, so I'll leave those there. And let's see. Kicks, I'll log the chat in here. And then we want a chat application. We want chat equals chat. And then, let's see. I think we need like a, maybe export default chat application, something like that. That tells JavaScript to let you import this from somewhere else. Yeah, something like that. Let's see if it works. Just slow. Okay, so it logged it twice. That's a good sign. Okay, well, this is going relatively smoothly so far. So now in this chat application thing, we are going to want to render our sort of like message list and our input bar. So we can kind of just scaffold that out in React components, and we'll see how that goes. So we'll say like, we'll stick that outer div, and then actually maybe we don't even. We'll stick an outer div there, and then we can say like, you know, sort of like chat messages, chat equals props.chat, something like that, and then we'll do like input bar. That'll probably also need the chat, if I'm being honest. And then okay, so const. Oops. Kind of use these same declarations. Chat messages, and then we'll say like return hello messages. That was a mistake. Ugh. And hello input bar. Okay. So let's see if that worked. Oh, it did work. Okay. So now we kind of have our, I know it doesn't look like it, but we have our sort of basic components in place to put this together. And now, let's see. So one idea could be that we could try to lay these out on the screen. Another idea could be that we could start on the data side and just try to get the data kind of working. I guess we'll kind of do it in parallel. So first for the messages, So we're gonna want to do kind of like a loop thing. You know, I'm just gonna go to like the team list because I think that will have like a decent example. And so the team list is a table. We're not gonna make a table, but yeah. So props.teams.map, and then return a table row. So we're gonna want something like this. So we can do props.chat.messages.map message index and message and key message.id. Not sure if that's the right thing to do, but and then we'll just say I guess we can just do message. This is like a spread thing. So every property on the message will get passed as its own property to this chat message thing. And then we'll do chat message. Probably supposed to be semicolons here. And let's see. So for now, let's just like kind of say return I'm gonna say props.content, I think is what we used. Content. Look at one of these guys. Messages. Content. Okay. Does that work? Props.chat.messages is undefined. Why is props.chat.messages undefined? Maybe because I didn't pass the chat. Chat messages, chat equals props.chat. Because I typed three S's. Hey. Okay. Not too bad, not too bad. So we can try to kind of, now in the message class, we'll kind of try to port the UI from the HTMX across, just like the Tailwind classes and stuff. So where is that? Templates, chat, chat, single chat, chat UI, chat UI. Okay, user message. Okay, so this is what a user message looks like. Let's just make them all user messages for now. That was really cool that I just pasted this and it converted the classes to class names. Well done, React, or JetBrains, I should say. This is the user icon, which probably deserves its own component, but for now we'll just kind of stick in there. Not clear to me whether that'll work or not. And then the message content will be, this is where we go, props.content. Oh, it's complaining. Too many divs. Okay. Let's try it. Whoa. All right. How about that? So, all right. So this is like a human message. So I think what I'm gonna actually do is like, if props dot, oops. Like looking at this thing to see what these look like. Props dot message type equals human. Should probably be a constant. And then I'll say like, return human message. Sorry. Return human message and props. Something like that. And else return AI message. I don't know if this is the right level of abstraction, but it's what I'm going to do. So now we have human message. Probably wondering why I'm not using arrow functions. It's because I'm a dinosaur when it comes to JavaScript. Okay. So kind of start there. Let's see. System icon. We'll just say PG chat message. We'll just add this different class to start just to see if it's working at all. Unclear to me whether like it's better for the for this to be two totally separate classes, or whether I should try to do some sort of if else stuff inside the messages, but okay. You can kind of imagine it. It's missing that introductory message, but not too bad. Let's see, so we don't need this hello messages thing. It seems like these are all squished right on top of each other. Why are they not squished in the HTMX version? Probably because of these outer classes. So let's try adding them here. Stroke line cap. I guess JetBrains wasn't quite smart enough to deal with these. But that's not the problem with the spacing. Oh, there we go. It was just taking its time. Okay. We're getting pretty close already. Well, kind of. It's also giving me warnings about stroke width. So why don't I fix those? So, input bar. Let's do the input bar. Oops. And again, we can kind of grab our input bar from the HTMX implementation, and the actual functionality is going to be different. So this isn't actually probably going to be a form. This is just going to be some kind of div. It's definitely not going to have hx post and hx swap. And then it will have an input and a button. Okay. Let's see how that. Okay, pretty good, pretty good. And now the outer guy just needs, let's see, message list, PG chat pane. Okay, so it needs like a W full H screen flex thingamabobber. Is that right? I thought that I had already put those in there. Oh, interesting. So that's full, but that's not. So why don't we just bump the ID on the up to the W full. Chat React. Yeah, why don't we just combine these two elements? See if that works. Still no. Why? Because there's an inner div here. The inner div is coming from chat application, so maybe we just make that. And wait for it to recompile. Yeah. Alrighty. This almost looks like this. So I think this is actually a good place to stop. We've kind of got our UI layout working. We've mostly got parity between the icons. Fixing the icons will be easy. We've mostly got parity between React and HTMX from a sort of just a presentation perspective. But we still are going to have to wire up the hard bits, how to type this in, press send, hit the API, have it update the front end. So that's going to be a big chunk of work, and I might want to do a little bit of thinking about the various pieces that are going to come in. But I'm happy with the progress made so far. Hopefully this gives you a sense of how to port a UI from kind of a plain Django to a React setup, and looking forward to picking this up again soon. Thanks for stopping by.